So, my name is Habhab, and honestly, 4 years ago today, if you told me I was going to be speaking in front of all of you, I'd probably laugh in your face, and that's it. So we're going to take you back to my freshman year. So I actually started at Henry Ford College, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life. I had one idea where I wanted to be this mechanical engineer because I loved math and science in high school. And on the other hand, I loved criminal justice. I wanted to be a lawyer. I thought it was the coolest career path ever. So I didn't know, so I just decided to start taking my prereqs, and I ended up in a criminal investigations class at the time. So I had one of the most interesting professors you could ever lay your eyes on. His name was Professor Osowski, and he's actually here today. And I remember walking into class, I sat down, and I would just open a book every single day because we were in the Henry Ford basement, and there's really no Wi-Fi or any thing like that. So you really just had to sit there for 10-15 minutes and not do anything. So I would bring a book, whether it be To Kill a Mockingbird, Lord of the Flies, The Outsiders. Every day he would come up to me and say, "Miss Habhab, what are you reading today?" And we'd have a good 5-minute discussion about whatever I was reading at the time. That was the only professor at the time that ever took an interest in me. I would always just go to school, take my notes, go home. Never stayed on campus, never made any friends because I actually live right over there. I grew up in Dearborn, Michigan, so I didn't feel the need to make any friends, have interactions with peers or anything. He pulled me aside one day after class and told me, "You are kind of smart, so you need to start interacting in class, have a group discussion once in a while, do something." So I said, okay, maybe one day. Never happened. I just kept going on, taking my notes, going home. So he actually showed me U of M Dearborn, and I transferred a semester early. So winter 2017 ended up here. I remember walking into my criminal procedures class and sitting down, and the professor at the time said, "We're going to be doing the Socratic method," which means I'm going to point to you and say, "What is the answer from last week's reading?" And you had to answer it on the spot like that. First time, he goes, "Miss Habhab, can you tell me this doctrine and what it does?" I looked at him like a deer in headlights. I had no idea what to say. I didn't know how to organize my thoughts. I just stood there and stared at him for about a good 30 seconds, and he just moved on. So I went to Professor Osowski, who was teaching at U of M Dearborn at the time, and he said, "Look, kid, you pretty much got to change your attitude. You need to start getting more involved. You have the knowledge to do so, so you need to just do it." So I said, okay. So sophomore year passes, I don't do anything he tells me, of course. So junior year rolls around, and I say, I need to finally change. So I decided to do 3 things about it. 1, I became an orientation leader. 2, I became an SI instructor. And 3, I joined the Talent Gateway. So becoming an orientation leader was one of the greatest things that I've ever done. I learned how to speak really loud in front of crowds. I'm like the smallest one in the room, but you can hear me from 10 miles away. It's fine. And then I realized that I needed to build my confidence, so I started doing that. Every day I would come into work as an orientation leader, building my confidence, speaking loud, talking to new people, getting to know everyone, and it was amazing. I also decided to become an SI instructor, which, if you guys don't know, it's basically where you facilitate group discussions about a class. So you would have a group of students come in, and you provide a lesson plan for them to kind of follow and kind of gain more knowledge about the material so they'll be ready for the next exam. So I realized that I needed to have quick thinking, I needed to have good organization skills, and that's where the Talent Gateway actually came into play. It taught me all of these skills, and I actually got to practice it throughout the months of me being an SI instructor and an orientation leader. So then, junior year, halfway through comes around, I decided I was going to do an internship class, and so I fell back into Professor Osowski's class once again. And I joined an immigration law firm, and that is where I learned all of these great issues about immigration and how to talk to clients and how to be more organized. And honestly, I changed my whole perspective on life and knew I wanted to go to law school right then and there. So then I realized senior year comes around, and I actually have to apply to law school. So then I went to my professors and I asked them for letters of recommendation, and you know what they told me? They said, sure. You know why? Because you're speaking in class, you're a great role model for students, why not? I decided to look back at myself from freshman year, and as if I didn't take those risks, I probably would have never been able to get those letters of recommendation. I probably would have never made new friends on campus. I probably would have stuck to my same routine. Go to class, take notes, go home, do homework. And honestly, that wasn't fun at all for me. I realized that doing these things helped me become a better person and probably just in general more likable at this point. Because before I would just sit there with a blank look on my face, not doing anything, and then just go home. So after senior year, well, technically we're still in senior year, I realized that I wanted to go to law school, so I applied with those letters of recommendation, and I'm happy to say that I will be attending Michigan State Law School in the fall, which would be really exciting for me. I've never moved away from home before, so it's a whole new challenge that I'm ready to take. But I would just like to thank everybody who's supported me along the way, especially Professor Osowski and all of the other professors that helped me get to the place that I am today. I needed that little push, you know, probably maybe a little shove to get me out the door, but I'm pretty happy where I am today, and I'd like to thank all of you for that.